How was your transition going from college to the NFL? Did you feel like you had a leg up because of your older brother?
Oh, absolutely. I had a leg up because of my older brother, and I feel like our staff in at UCLA was like everyone had like either coached in the league, played in the league, or had some type of NFL experience. So I feel like our schedule and the way we did things and the way we installed and the way we approached meetings and everything was kind of like how it was when I got to the pros. So like as soon as I got to install and as soon as I got to like walkthroughs, I was already used to that kind of format. And I feel like that was the biggest advantage I had over all the other rookies who maybe not have had like came from a different program or something like that, because it was just I was just used to it. Even though the playbook was way bigger, you know, I was in Mike Zimmer's defense. It was just like I had Anthony Barr, who was my teammate the year before.
Right.
He had a year before, so I came in with a little bit of familiarity through him. And then it was just all kind of like better for me.
How fun was that getting reunited with Anthony?
It was sick. Our coach would always tell us in college, you're never going to, take advantage of this. You're never going to play again.
Yeah.
Went right back, went right back to old business.
Just
cool.
1 year buffer. And it had to be like one of those things where you're getting drafted to the NFL and you're like, okay, I got to go with these men now. But knowing that one of your boys is there to kind of like, you feel safer. Like there's like a level of like, all right, that's my guy right there.
No, I honestly feel like I was talking maybe too much, like, because I was like so familiar with him. So it was like I was like, joking around and playing with him, but like, that opens you up as a target for like, other vets to just,
especially if you're a rookie. Like we had this one lineman that would just be, hey, rookies aren't meant to be heard. You just keep your head down and go.
You just got to just do it,
Like,
is that how the linebackers are?
No, this was an old lineman. No, the linebackers. Every linebacker room I've been in has been fun, been cool.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody,
it's always the offensive lineman.
Always.
My rookie year, it was like, hey, you talk too much. Like you need to stop. Like you play too much, you talk too much. Like you need to understand like where you are in the pecking order right now.
Yeah.
And I hated that. I hated it.
Yeah.
It was like a very difficult thing for me to wrap my mind around. Like, hey, we all just can be boys. I came in, Michael Rue's a 10-year vet, and I'm like essentially there to replace him. I'm like, hey man, what's up? Good to see you. And he's like, why are you talking? I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'll wait till you leave to talk then.
Don't speak unless spoken to.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what Sean Laval would say to rookies.
Really?
Don't speak unless spoken to.
Some dudes take that to heart too.
Yeah, I know. Who were the vets when you got there your rookie year?
I had Chad Greenway.
That's right.
Legend. I had Terrence Newman. I had Linval Joseph he was like the first vet to take me out to dinner, like just on some casual stuff. And shoot, I don't know. I had a lot of good vets for sure, like really good vets. Like,
do you think about your rookie year and having 92 tackles and that being your only season you haven't got 100?
I actually did have 100, but they just there's NFL stats and there's team stats. So
right, I know. It's
so if the NFL doesn't know that you're out there, putting your life on the line, if you're out there, putting that blood into it, because if they know about you a little bit, you're gonna get a tackle here and there, a little bit more. But thanks for bringing that up
yeah, man. I mean, your entire career, you've had 100 tackles, and if you go by the NFL stats, it was 92 your rookie year. But man, you have to look back and take a lot of pride knowing that your longevity and knock on wood, not having any bad injury to. Yeah, we gotta make sure to knock that. You know what I mean? Like that's tough to do.
100%. And I feel like there's like we were talking about earlier with the Pro Bowl and and the notoriety and all that stuff. Like all that stuff is cool. Don't get me wrong, but like I take pride in just the ability to be there for my teammates when I need to be there. I hate missing games. I really take really good care of my body. I work out hard. I take this shit seriously, and it's like things like that, the consecutive years, you may say, oh yeah, he's not, this may not be as good in this area or this may, but like my consistency, and I think that's what separates me, and you can't argue with that, when it's all said and done.
Yeah. What's been the worst injury you've had to play through?
Man, in the league or in college, the worst injury I had to play through, I don't even know. I've broken my ribs and I played like a whole half, and they were like clicking around. That was my rookie year.
That's
yeah. I remember
sleeping, coughing, sneezing, all of it.
There was a one time we were playing Kirko when he was on the other team, and he threw a pick, or he threw me a pick, which I thought was going to be an interception, and me and Anthony Barr ran into each other and and like my whole side was like, I don't even know. It was like so swollen, and it was like draining down to my groin for the next couple weeks, and it was just a lot of fluid in my body.
Fuck.
It was terrible, and I was just and you can miss practice, you know what I mean? But then you just get
Try
ready
to
for the
finesse
game.
a little at practice.
How do you
Just hit the
feel
walkthrough.
fluid in your rib area?
It was fluid. It was like I had a hip pointer. It was like I had all this fluid that was from the bruise. I had like the impact was so crazy that I got hit on my side, but I landed on my shoulder. So I had like some strains in my
Damn.
my shoulders. Like later in the week, I'm like, why is my shoulder hurting?
Double homicide.
It was bad. But I guess that's when you figure out what you're made of, and
Yeah.
how much
man.
of a psycho you really could be.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that 92 tackles because immediately Will brings it up. You're like, it was actually 100, but the NFL. Like, how does it work with the team and the NFL not just taking the team stats and registering it through NFL stats?
Yeah, someone told me that, like, oh yeah, you like, someone was like, oh yeah, you actually have 100 from the team stats, and I'm like, why is there a difference? I was same page. I'm like, why is there a difference? There, like, every year it's like different.
Yeah.
So you have two different tackle totals then probably.
Yeah, you probably. But you can also like Chris Long from Greenlight Podcast. He talks about sacks, and guys will go in and
To the
get a
league.
sack. Yeah, and they'll go to the league to review it because they think they got the half a sack or they got a full sack when they weren't registered anything. I wonder if you could have. Maybe you should go back and do that. Get your 100.
Some of it's petty though. Like some of it, I get you. Like sometimes I'll be like especially after a game where I'm like, man, I had like 15 today, and then you see the stat line and it's like 7. I'm like, damn, that feels terrible because I was out there, going hard for my team. But it's all.
Sometimes the coaching staff, like too, you might get a few JOPs, jump on pile. They'll credit you for.
Oh yeah,
it.
yeah.
They'll get you something.
Yeah, I mean, like your position room, and you're reviewing the film, and they give you your grade sheet and everything else. Like, I usually feel like the position coaches usually give you the
Try to
benefit
give you
of the
love.
doubt.
I feel like it depends too, because like if you like, let's say even the team stats, like let's say you're watching film after the game, and let's say you guys had a good game, like offense played well, defense played well, and you make a tackle and it's not registered, and you're like, hey, like I didn't get a tackle right there.
Yeah.
Like it's cool, it's chill, everything's chill. It's clearly you made a tackle, like. But when you start kind of like, like let's say you lose, or let's say the game was close, or let's say the tackle was kind of close, like, or you're arguing for an assist, you don't want to be the guy to be like, hey, what about this tackle right there? Like some people would do it all day, but like,
I feel like it's more for the guys who get sacks.
my opinion is just
sacks are like
sacks are
Those
different.
are
I'm
big.
just
Bro, you
like,
did not get a half sack.
but the thing
Yeah.
is with sacks with linebackers, like let's say there was there was a sack opportunity with the linebacker and the D lineman. The D lineman will always be the first one to argue it. If
Yes.
the linebacker gets it, I've had like stuff. I've had a sack and then like all of a sudden it's like a half, or like, and I'm like, wait, what happened? Oh, they gave so and so a half because they're the ones that were arguing for it. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, bro. Or your D lineman like comes up to you like, hey, I got half that sack, and you're just thinking in your head like, oh yeah, I mean, fuck,
Like,
I guess if
like,
you think so, man. Like,
it's not even on your mind. You're just like, yeah,
They
okay,
do that,
cool.
they do it in the middle of the game.
no, it'll be like
I've had people
it'll
do
be
it in the middle of the game. For
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Like say it at the like after the game's over. I remember when Daquan Jones, when I got that fumble recovery against Detroit.
Yeah.
And since it looked like I like torpedoed and got the ball out, he was mad that publicly everybody was saying that I forced the fumble. And I was like, bro,
Ego.
you got it in the
got it.
stat
Ego,
sheet.
bro.
I said, you got it in the stat sheet, man. It's all good. I
Yeah.
checked it. You got it. He's like, yeah, but everybody's saying you. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like issue a statement? Like I get a little burn. I got one play that game. I'm trying to take all the credit.
Take all the credit
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, dude. I just, how hard is it not to go and just after every single game go look at your stat sheet? I played like 2 years of defensive tackle, and I would be on scout.com or whatever. Like, all right, how many tackles? Like, all right, 2.5 tackles this game. I might really get 20 this year.
Yeah, see, I don't do that. I've done that when I'm like, man, did I have like 18 today or what? Like, how much? Like, I'll ask my wife, like, hey, how many tackles did I have today? Like, that was crazy, and she'll tell me. But like, I'm not going to look usually afterwards. Sometimes if they're walking around with the sheets afterwards, I'll just be like, hey, how much did I have? And they'll just be like 8 or 12 or
Yeah.
7, 5, 4. I don't know, but. Like I said, it's more about how I feel. How I feel like I played in the game. If I was into the game, if I was into it early. If I was flying around. Sometimes it's like there's been games where you get up on offense, they go down. They're doing bad, and it turns into a passing situation. So like, how's my coverage? I may not be making as much tackles in the run game or to the perimeter, but like, am I playing 3 well? Am I going do my job really?